Hello. Your hair is so fluffy. Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren from Royal Vintage Shoes.
And I'm Abby, also from Royal Vintage Shoes. I'm not just wandering in off the street.
Okay. It's been a long time since we've done a live cast. We are very, very excited. We're also excited to be in portrait mode instead of square now, so that's how long it's been.
I didn't even realize that was like
yeah. So today we are going live to share with you our new collection. We're calling it the New Yorker collection because it was inspired by our friends in New York who walk everywhere and need practical shoes. And we've come up with a lot of designs that sort of hit that practical, comfortable, yet stylish design points, if you will, for you guys for fall. So we're going to share them with you one at a time.
Bit by bit.
Bit by bit.
Bit by bit. So we're actually going to start with the Claire's, our Oxfords, because they seem to be the most popular shoe at the moment with our pre-order. These are exact copies, actually, off an original Oxford that we have in the archive collection here at American Duchess / Royal Vintage Shoes.
This is the original.
Let's see if you can zoom in. It's kind of reflecting funky on the perforations.
Yeah, this is an Academy Girl brand, original early 1940s regulation Oxford.
Yes.
And then this is our remake of
This
it.
is all Claire.
So we did an exact copy with, you're not going to see the perforations on it, the stitching, the heel shape. It's a stacked heel, leather lining. Ours is actually a lot softer on the inside than this one is.
This thing is like a brick.
Yeah, it's also really old.
So, and really tiny.
And we did them in 3 colors.
Yes. Yay. So we did the white because we have had requests for white shoes.
Nurse shoes.
Nurse shoes and dress uniform shoes for wave and things like that. They're great, actually. And like perforations read so well when you wear them. I wore them last week actually. And it was actually really nice. It got a lot of compliments on them. And then the brown ones are actually the same kind of what we've been calling army brown. That actually is the same leather that we use on our Rosie boots. And so these should really work well for anyone who wants a good kind of reddish brown. It's not. Yeah,
and we
nice
really
warm tone to
had to pin down that color.
Ooh, that was hard.
It's a very specific kind of saddly army brown that they used back in the 40s that doesn't seem to be as popular today. So we went through a couple iterations to get the brown just right on those. And so if you are doing military impressions for your dress uniform, for many of the groups, these are appropriate for dress. They're not appropriate for workwear. So they're not service shoes. They are appropriate for dress uniform. Women back then were not issued with shoes. The Army or the Navy did not give them their shoes. They sent them to certain makers like Lotus and Red Cross shoes, not to be confused with Lotus Cars and Red Cross today.
Why are we talking about cars?
To buy their shoes. So you'll see advertisements in Sears and Ward's and for other magazines from the time period for nurse shoes, military shoes, and a lot of them do have stitching and perforation on them. Most of the regulations involve heel heights, different types of decoration, whether they could have buckles or whatnot. But what we found is it really came down to the unit, the commanding officer in the unit of what was appropriate for women to wear on their feet for dress uniform. So if you are doing World War II impressions, check out your regulations for your group. Also, these conform to CC 41, nice 1.6-inch heel, so you can wear them for civilian dress for World War II as well. So, happy days.
Yay! And they're really comfortable.
They are really comfortable.
And you can walk in them for a long time.
I walked all over London in them. Yes. Yay! So the second, what we want to share with you is also World War II reproduction. Not everything in our line is, but these are, and I'm super excited about them. These are the Rosie boots. These are the original boots. So we had a follower, a reenactress, actually send these to us and beg us to reproduce them. You can see it's all crusty and lovely. Again, that's that army brown that we were talking about. So that's the original, and then this is our very faithful reproduction.
So not as crusty.
Not as crusty. Yes. Please keep your shoes polished to avoid crust. We're calling these Rosie. Guess what we named up after?
We're
surprise.
surprised.
I love these boots. I wore the prototype for these on my trip to England and Wales, and I wore them for like 6 days straight, and I walked all over Snowdonia, every kind of terrain, in the wet, in the dry, sand, rocks, concrete, cobblestones, Welsh people, you name it. I loved them.
Welsh people?
I loved these. I bonded with them, like on the walls of the city around Conway. I was like, oh my God, I love them. So when we get the question, are they costume shoes? Can you wear them for winter? We made these for your winter boots. They are accurate. They're also really cool. Yes. You're going to love them.
And there's no zippers in them.
Yep.
Because
can
we just talk about how annoying that is to like buy winter boots and then there's zippers in them, because it drives me insane. So these are actually real boots. They really work. They are no zippers. And if you're a big-footed girl like me, they don't actually make your feet look like massive canoes. I was shocked. I was fully prepared to just look
wide.
like...
So this is the 7.5, which is my size. Abby wears a 9.5, and when she put hers on, I was like, wow, your feet actually look kind of petite. They're very wide across here.
That never happened.
They're very kind of like a loose fit, so they're meant to be worn with socks or heavy like wool socks for winter. So they're very comfortable. This is nice and adjustable for all different.
I don't have
leg
tiny,
sizes.
thin
Bird legs.
I've done a lot of squats legs. And a lot of walking, and so they actually fit really well. They weren't on like the last buckle or anything, so there's a lot of adjustability with them too.
Yeah.
When they comes, and yeah, they're super comfy, and you can take care of them by putting like beeswax on them and other sort of shoe care products to help waterproof them, so they'll actually see through the winter as well.
Yeah. There's arch support and extra padding on the inside as well. We really went to all the great lengths on these boots because I think the number one question we get starting about September in the Northern Hemisphere is, what do I wear on my feet? I want to be vintagey, I want to be accurate or, fashionable for the 40s, and there's just nothing out there. Or, I mean, what is the deal with winter boots that have like 3-inch heels on them? That just seems crazy to me. So practical boots that are cool. They look cool for today, and they were also bang on for the 1940s.
Yeah, so if you're doing combat impression on the field or anything like that, you can totally rock the Rosie boots. We found some awesome images of women wearing double buckle combat boots, but also if you just want to walk around in skinny jeans and be like, look how cute I am, hair flip.
They definitely tie in with hipsterism and authenticity, and you get to tell people these are actually World War II. My grandmother totally wore these.
I would have rocked these in Sweden back when I lived there a billion years
all last winter, I would go to the dog park and it's like snowing, and I'm like, all I want are these boots. Why aren't we have these boots yet? So I figured, well, if I'm feeling like that, maybe you guys are too. So next in our line, we have a good classic. We'll show you the original for that, and what we've done. It is, guess what? Saddle shoes. Now, I know you kind of think, oh, there's saddle shoes everywhere, but surprisingly, they're a little bit hard to find that are accurate for women's saddle shoes from the 30s and 40s. Saddle shoes actually go way back to teens and 1920s, and there's a little variation throughout those decades, usually in soul color, welt color, heel, that kind of thing. So this is our original. This is our little Spalding. A friend of mine actually gave these to us. Thanks, Carolyn. Original, somebody's gym shoe. And it's kind of like suede. Yeah. And the saddle, it's a little bit hard to see. Let's turn it. Yeah. But it is on there, and it's got the back strap as well. And these awesome rubber crepe soles, which are kind of like really hard pencil erasers. So we sent the mate of this over to be replicated for the last and the soling. And then our result, now keep in mind that, keep in mind that these were worn a lot, and then these are brand new, but I have been actually wearing my brown saddle shoes for a couple of weeks now, and they're starting to look a lot more like this.
These are mine. They haven't been worn yet.
So we have our reproduction. Now the first thing you're going to notice about these is that they have a really low profile. There is nothing I hate more than a bulbous, clunky, giant,
and you got tiny feet,
school issue, huge, cheap saddle shoes. So we wanted to do a good quality, all leather, low profile saddle shoe for women specifically.
Yeah, a much more elegant profile, a much more feminine profile, something that, because going back, I'm not kidding, like having big feet, wearing a size 9.5, I am hyper aware of how my shoes make my feet look. Like, I love Chuck Taylors, I love the way they look, but I always wear them and I feel like my feet just look like massive
like banana boats.
And so, like, the same thing goes with like shoes that are super bulbousy. All I can do then is like stare at my feet. But when I put these on, I was actually really surprised how I didn't feel that way about the shoes, because if I feel like they make my feet look huge, I won't wear them.
You don't want to wear them, and that seems to have been the problem with saddle shoes. The other issue is that you kind of lose some accuracy in, you know, companies that are making them for the look. They don't really care so much about the soling. The soling on these, we went around and around with prototyping and sampling to get the soles right.
Just finished that.
So I mentioned that this is like a hard pink eraser. That's like what it feels like. And then this is our brand new, it hasn't been worn yet, soling. So we did get the right crepe soles on them versus our first prototype, which has, and it's probably going to be really hard to see this,
I think you can kind of tell.
A little bit different rubber soles. So yes, it was rubber, but not quite the right color, not quite the right consistency. And you're seeing like 3 different colors here now.
So the original,
and then this was
final
our
prototype.
This was our first go at it. Still a great sole, but not quite the right looks. So because we care so much about getting it absolutely right, we actually just finished these soles up on these like this week.
Yeah.
So we're really, really happy. They're incredibly flexible. They're super comfortable. They have arch support pad inside for under your foot. Again, I've been wearing them around for like,
yeah, you've been wearing your brown
week.
ones for a while.
And they're starting to break in, and I really, really, really love them. And you're going to love them too.
Yeah, they come in brown and white, black and white, and then a really pretty blue and white that you see here. That's the blue and white.
So when you think of, I want some saddle shoes, check us out at royalvintageshoes.com
and we
for
also
saddle shoes.
We also heard all of you who were like, I want blue and white shoes, navy and white shoes. So this is our first foray into blue and white shoes. Well, no Lillians, but those are different.
Yeah, and in the future, you know, if saddle shoes, they always seem to be a good thing to have in your vintage wardrobe. So red and white, green and white, other colors are attractive to me. So if you guys want other colors, do let us know what you want. All right, the very last shoe in our New Yorker collection, because New Yorkers also like to dress up and look pretty, is we added on an evening sandal. Yes. These are Eve.
That's not World War II.
Yeah, well, it's more old Hollywood, golden age kind of glamorous. These can work for a lot of things. So this is Eve. Lovely keyhole T strap, and it's caged at the toe. It's not an open toe.
Yay!
So you can wear them for late 20s, all through the 30s, all through the 40s. It's a very versatile design. So we've done them in black leather because black leather is always so practical. But then we have rose gold.
Yes.
Rose gold.
Very, very soft rose gold, almost champagne color. Champagne,
very
sparkling rosé.
Very, very pretty leather on these.
Yeah, we're really excited about the leather on these.
You bet. And again, they have arch support on the inside. This heel is, those of you who know the Deco Darlings will recognize that heel. It's a 2 3/8 inch Spanish heel, so it's very balanced, very comfortable. So even though they look like a glamorous, sexy, vintage high heel shoe, they're still going to be very comfortable on your feet all night at the party. And of course, we call them Eve because New Year's Eve is coming up.
Yes.
And we thought you need some sparkly shoes for New Year's Eve. So very pretty. Very accurate design. It's a good one. You'll see it all through advertisements in the 1930s. It's a good one for covering all 3 of our vintage decades without worrying about accuracy. So that's what we've got.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment box below. We are live, so if they'll pop up and we'll answer them. If you want any of these shoes, what do you do, Abby?
Oh, I don't know. Let's ask Doris. No, never mind. She's asleep.
She's asleep.
So our pre-order opened yesterday, and it's going to go on until August 10th. So it's a very limited amount of time to get those pre-order perks. So if you want to get that $20 off these pairs of shoes, this is the time to do it. We do also do easy pay layaway. So you can buy one of each, or 2 Rosie boots, or Rosie boots and Eve, saddle shoes in 2 different colors, and some Claire's, and what have you. You can actually put those on easy pay layaway, and you can pay them off over time while still getting that price discount too.
And you get free shipping within the US. which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Little heads up for our UK followers and fans in EU. We are working with Revival to possibly stock some of these. So if you want to contact them, talk to them about it. I believe they're going to be doing a pre-order pretty soon
Revival
as well.
Retro.
And when you buy from Revival or Vacona, but specifically Revival in London, guess what you get to skip? Taxes and
Yay!
shipping and package handling fees.
All that fun stuff that shows up to your door.
So you don't get dinged with all that horrible extra bill from Parcel Force. You're welcome. So go on to Revival Retro's page and check it out. I don't think they're up yet, but they will be.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some questions. Did you already show the Oxfords, Sue? We will show them again.
That's no problem.
Yay. We also did a massive photo shoot yesterday, so you will be able to see what these look like on people's feet.
Yes.
Specifically Abby's feet, my feet.
My very
feet.
large feet with very pale legs. You're welcome.
Deanna Lazarus asks, what's the best way to figure out what size I need for the boots? We always recommend that you order your normal shoe size, even if you plan on wearing them with socks. They're pretty roomy inside. I wore mine with normal socks, but I could easily have worn thicker socks and been very comfortable. So your usual shoe size. If you guys are really worried about getting the correct size, go ahead and order 2 sizes and return the one that doesn't fit. So long as it's unworn, you're all good on that. Thank you, Charity. She says, I'm drooling over the gold shoes. We are very happy with them. They're very pretty. You're going to love them. Okay, guys, I think that's it.
Yeah, short, sweet, and to the point.
Yep, this video is going to stay on our newsfeed. If you have any questions continuing on, the video will not be live, but we will answer your questions with our magical keyboards. And
magical thumbs on iPhones.
Lots of typos and emojis.
May from the UK can send me a pair to Spain. Yeah, I guess it's EU.
So any orders coming from the UK are going to go through Revival. They're not going to come from us. We can ship to Spain. Again, it depends on what your country's taxes and all of that are. Shipping from the US internationally is never cheap. So I do recommend checking out Revival for that. One last question, will you ever be doing more 10.5? It's so hard to find them. Unfortunately, we had to drop 10.5 out of our size range. We only manufacture 200 of these, and we weren't actually selling enough 10.5s to make it viable. Sorry. It's just one of those things. When we get bigger, if we get bigger and we do more than that, then we will add that size back in and potentially expand our size range as well.
We would like to be able to do that one day.
Hopefully. Violet Sparks says, my grandmother had a pair of the black Oxfords, brings back memories. Your grandma would be proud. These are totally your grandma's shoes.
That's what I was calling myself yesterday. I just walked around being like, Meemaw's here, y'all. Meemaw's here.
Grandmama would be
I was in
happy.
Vintage from head to toe, and then the black Oxfords. I was like, time to go to church. Meemaw's ready.
We're so glad you guys like them. Pre-order is open at royalvintageshoes.com. Go to brands, Royal Vintage, and you'll see them all there with the discount. Again, if you have any questions, hit us up. And I guess
see you later.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.